Hello and thanks for joining us for the Midday News. The 4 local level governments of the Kokopo district underwent a training on the drafting of local level government laws on Friday, August 2nd. The one-day training was facilitated by the East New Britain Provincial Autonomy Committee and the Provincial Parliamentary Services. Training began in July with Rabaul district, followed by Gazelle and Pomio. Kokopo was the last district to undergo this training. Since the initial awareness and workshop in 2023, all 23 LLGs in the province drafted 37 laws together. 14 of these laws are only applicable to the urban LLGs, 5 for rural LLGs, and 9 are applicable to both rural and urban areas. They are known as general laws. Patrick Varagat from Autonomy Committee said additional laws can be formulated in future. The coffee export landscape in PNG is marked by a diverse array of exporters. Currently, there are 32 registered coffee exporters, with 18 of them actively exporting to the Chinese market. These exporters represent the rich diversity of PNG's coffee-growing regions and contribute significantly to our overall export volume and value.
The PNG coffee industry has experienced significant fluctuations over the past 5 years. From 2018 to 2020, coffee industry faced a cumulative increase in coffee exports by approximately 22.79% due to the global impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, from 2021 to 2023, the industry demonstrated a strong recovery, with exports increasing by 10.48%, 13.29%, and 13.51% respectively. This recovery phase was driven by the easing of pandemic restrictions, government support, price and freight subsidies, and an increase in world market prices. In terms of export value, there was a notable recovery from the pandemic-induced decline. Export earnings surged by 42.95% in 2021 and 43.55% in 2022, even surpassing pre-pandemic figures. Despite a slight drop in 2023 by 6.02%, the overall export earnings for the past 5 years reached 3.085 billion kina, a 27.12% increase compared to the previous 5-year period. Minister for Coffee, William Bando, when speaking at the official opening of the new coffee export complex in Leh recently, said PNG can do more and increase the number of exports. However, he said commitment and perseverance is needed in order to achieve their demand on the global market.
Today is the day that we in the agricultural sector can make a mark that this country and the citizens of this country will be no longer the same because of agriculture, because of coffee.
PNG coffee reaches over 34 countries worldwide, reflecting their global recognition and demand for PNG coffee. Notable destinations include China, United States, Germany, Japan, and Australia. Its market presents unique opportunities and challenges, but our commitment to quality ensures that PNG coffee remains a preferred choice among discerning consumers.
Marapena Rosso to long means. We can no long man run in the country. Degree altogether, degree me blagat. Experience altogether, experience me blagat. More importantly, we grew up from the streets of this country and rural areas of this country with cousins, with tribesmen and women who are still unemployed, unengaged. And what is the easiest, quickest way for us to migrate the mess into economic activities? And agriculture offered to us the realistic place of migrating the super mess who've left grade 8, left grade 10, left grade 12, Leaving universities and colleges with no job. You know how much job Pogara gold mine, people are reopening again. People are complaining of gold pass. Now me reopening under 51% of people, 49% of investor, before you only 5% or so.
Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
The landowner company from Kainantu district in Eastern Highlands province has acquired assets worth 1.8 million kina. The Bilimoa Development Corporation that represents the Bilimoa people have got 2 new Hino 700 series prime movers and 3 trailers. This enhances its partnership with Pacific Cargo Services, a division of the NKW Group. These acquisitions expand the LO Firm's transportation capabilities, allowing to play a more prominent logistics role by addressing some of Kainantu Mining's current needs. An official ceremony was hosted at the NKW headquarters in Lae on Wednesday, July 17th. BDC Chairman Bantia Timpoke and Managing Director Gonki Beoti, on behalf of the Bilimoa landowners, thanked K92 Mining and NKW for their continued support and guidance in BDC's business development journey. One of the most out-of-reach areas in Enga province is preparing to host its second edition of Malamata Yapo Cultural Festival. Malamata, or Malaumanda, is located on the border of East Sepik and Enga. This remote area will host a cultural festival from this week starting August 6 to 8. While the festival is still in its infancy, the recognition by the National Cultural Commission and the Enga provincial government has brought hope to the people there. Coordinator of the festival on the Enga side, Newman Kana, said last year, NCC CEO Stephen Kilanda, a representative from the East Sepik government, and Sir Peter Ipatas launched the show for the first time, and it was also the first time the outside world had a glimpse of the vibrant and unique culture. The festival venue can only be accessed by a light aircraft or a helicopter from Mount Hagen, or by walking for 5 days from Mulitaka Station. Turning overseas, Aboriginal leaders says they're hopeful of a new beginning for relations with police following the police commissioner's historic apology. At the Gamma Festival this weekend, Commissioner Michael Murphy apologized for past harms and injustice perpetrated by police and pledged to eliminate racism within the agency. But the police union is already pushing back on some of what the commissioner had to say.
The walls of Darwin's overcrowded prison testify to the results of colonisation and a history of injustice against Aboriginal people.
You know, jails in the Northern Territory, over 80% Aboriginal population.
Yesterday, in a historic public address, the Police Commissioner issued an apology for the role of police in those injustices, from frontier massacres to more recent events, including the stolen generations and the NT intervention. He set an Indigenous employment target of 30% across all ranks and promised an anti-racism strategy. It's been welcomed today by those who called for an apology months ago, as the inquest into the fatal police shooting of Kumanjai Walker unearthed more and more evidence of racist conduct within the ranks.
You know, I see it as a new dawning, new dawning in the way police and Aboriginal communities and people will treat each other into the future, hopefully.
I'm hoping now that this apology means that he is learning and growing and changing, and I hope that means that other members of the force will do that too.
The Commissioner has promised a separate apology to Yundamu and the Warlpiri Nation after the inquest ends into Kumanjai Walker's death. In his speech, the Commissioner said he'd need to bring everyone along for the journey, but there's already been pushback. Today, the police union responded with a statement saying members weren't told well in advance that the apology was coming, and it's not the role of the police commissioner to comment on government policies, including the stolen generations and the intervention. They haven't outright rejected the commissioner's calls for change, but say officers shouldn't unfairly be overburdened with blame. The Territory's Indigenous leaders urging the force to have courage.
Be bold, brave and game and do things differently. And I think that's what this opportunity provides.
China and other countries, including Australia and Japan, have increased their efforts to deepen engagement with Pacific Island countries in recent weeks, what regional politicians and analysts describe as great power competition. Geopolitical competition continues to intensify in the Pacific as traditional partners roll out new activities, while new partners continued to show new interests. China reaffirmed its commitment to support and train the Solomon Islands' police force after the two nations signed security deals. Meanwhile, leaders from 18 Pacific Island countries agreed to enhance Japan's role in the region's development following a three-day summit in Tokyo in July. After their shock defeat at the hands of Central Dabaris the week before, Mount Hagen Eagles have regrouped to beat an equally strong Lae Snakes Tigers side in a thrilling 12 points to 10 to reclaim the lead at the top of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup table. Meanwhile, in the 2023 Grand Final rematch, Enga succumbed to an abuse from the Geopolitical Honeys at the National Sports Institute on Sunday, going down 16 points to 10, dropping back to the second place.
While the top 6 teams of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup remain intact, there's some positional changes within from the round 16 results, with Mount Hagen Eagles back in the lead with 22 points, Enga on 21, Mandimuruks 21, Gurias on 20 points, Lae Tigers 19, and Central Dabaris on 19 points. Mathematically, with 2 rounds of the regular season left, 7th place Wagi Tumbe on 16 points might not be enough to make a fight for the top 6, given they've got 2 tough matches left against Eagles and Lahanis. While the race for the minor premiership is still up for grabs, with only a point or 2 separating the teams. Similarly, for the 6th position remains a 3-way battle between Gurias, Tigers and Dabaris. Thus, the last 3 remaining rounds are very crucial. In the last 2 rounds, Gurias play Vipers and Iso in Rabaul, Tigers meet Lahanis and Muruks in Lae, and Dabaris got Wigman and Miox in Port Moresby. After round 18, the competition will proceed to the first week of semi-final series for the top 6 teams on August 25. The first week will see 1st and 2nd have a bye, while 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th go through the first round of the elimination finals, culminating in the grand final on September 15, 2024. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends our news update. Do join us at 6 tonight for more news and sports stories.